Hey guys, Steve Bysam here. I wanted to discuss a few things about the blood type diet that makes different blood types unique. As you know, that there is a lot of evidence showing that blood type really correlates on the foods you should be eating, the way you should be living, and even the supplements you should be taking. It also shows certain blood types show different predispositions to different illnesses. Now, the funny thing is that blood type O is the most common blood type. They have antigens to both A and B blood. They're known as the universal donors. Now, blood type O's actually tend to have higher stomach acid levels, so they can digest um, high protein diets, specifically protein from animal products. They also have something called intestinal alkaline phosphatase, which converts the protein in their intestinal tract to energy, as well as breaks down fats. Now, O's have a lot of this. Now, type A's are on the opposite spectrum. Type A's have low levels of this enzyme in their intestines, and they actually tend to have low stomach acid. They do better digesting carbohydrates and avoiding a lot of heavy, a lot of red meats, and avoiding certain seafoods as well. So fish is really the only type of animal protein, and chicken and turkey maybe, that is really recommended for people with type A blood. Um, Also, O's type A's actually have. Well, I'm going to go into this further on type A specifically, but let me go into the next category, which is type B's. Type B's are a little bit more balanced. They tend to not do that great on really heavy animal products as well. They have a weird tendency towards not being able to digest chicken, and they kind of, as far as their lifestyle habits, are really good at integrating the mind and the body using visualization techniques. This is Now, if you think of the O as the oldest, A is the second oldest, B is the next third newest, or the third newest, third oldest. Um, and then you have AB, which is the newest blood type, which actually evidence shows that emerged around the 1500s. So this is the modern blood type, which kind of takes the weaknesses of both A and B. So they don't do that great on red proteins, red meats and high protein diets, but they can, nor do they do well on dairy like type B's do. Um, so that's kind of interesting. The thing about ABs is that they don't do well on chicken and they do very well on turkey. Um, ABs are the most balanced, but they are susceptible to uh, diabetes. Now, there's I did review lifestyle. Um, Now, I guess O's actually tend to be high adrenaline, and they needed that back in the day when they were hunting and gathering. But in modern society, that's kind of a pain. So we actually have to really. I'm a type O, and we have to be very careful of not producing too much adrenaline, because then we overactivate our immune systems, which does lead to conditions like arthritis and irritable bowel and other inflammatory conditions in the body. Where type A's are more prone to cancer, and they actually have weaker immune systems. So it's important really to make sure, as a defense against a lot of disease, and actually to heal disease as well, if you're currently suffering from a condition, to take supplements that are right for your type, as well as um, eating the correct foods. I want to discuss a little bit about lectins. Um, Lectins are proteins found in half, almost all, well, half of the foods we eat. And what lectins do is they bind to carbohydrates in the stomach, in the large intestine, the small intestine, and the colon, which, depending if you're eating right for your type or not, when you bind the protein of the lectin protein to the carbohydrate, what it does is it clumps together, and eventually your cells start to clump together, and you start getting these masses of clumps, which eventually can be you know, causing your immune system to slow down, occupying a vast amount of reserves of energy in your body, trying to fight these clumps and try to free them. So you're actually expending a lot more energy in digestion and other bodily functions, and eventually could get a disease from it, depending on where your particular weakness is and what you've inherited from your family, etc., etc. So lectins are something to avoid, as well as foods that, like oranges, are not good for type A's or O's. They tend to cause putrefaction in the bowels. So what you're going to get is you're going to get more toxicity in the bowels, and you're not going to have cleanness inside, meaning that you're normally healthy people have clean intestines. So there's not a lot of toxification or a lot of fermentation of foods that are still left over. So you're not gonna get an imbalance of bacteria, which if you do get an imbalance, it leads to a whole host of conditions, including mental illness such as schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, things that we don't really even associate necessarily with diet. So, you know, certain foods are really going to have a huge impact. So, I just wanted to give you guys another general overview. In my next videos, I'm going to discuss more specifics for each blood type. So stay tuned, and you guys can get more information, of course, at my website, stevebysom.com. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.